the WWE Universe was left reeling after one of the most shocking betrayals in recent memory, as Paul Heyman's Vision faction turned on Seth Rollins, leaving the former champion battered, broken, and humiliated in the ring. But from the shadows of AEW, a voice that fans thought had gone silent has returned with a message that transcends brands and ignites chaos. Dean Ambrose, now known as Jon Moxley, finally broke his silence, directly addressing Paul Heyman in a raw, unfiltered statement that has sent shockwaves through WWE and AEW alike. With intensity in his eyes and venom in his voice, Moxley delivered a message that promises war, loyalty, and retribution, showing the world that some bonds can never be broken. Moxley watches from the shadows. While chaos engulfed WWE Raw, one man observed from afar. Dean Ambrose, now widely known as Jon Moxley, had left WWE years earlier, seeking freedom and reinvention. But the betrayal of Rollins didn't escape his notice. From the dimly lit corners of AEW, Moxley witnessed Heyman's manipulative empire unfold, watching as former allies were twisted into pawns. The intensity of the moment weighed heavily on him. He understood the psychology behind Heyman's tactics better than most. Moxley's history with Rollins and Roman Reigns gave him a unique perspective, and he realized that silence was no longer an option. The WWE betrayal demanded a response from someone who had experienced Heyman's mind games firsthand. In that quiet observation, a storm was brewing, a storm that would cross brand boundaries and challenge the very foundations of professional wrestling. Breaking the silence, Moxley speaks. After watching the devastation, Jon Moxley decided it was time to break his silence. In a raw, unpolished video uploaded across social media, Moxley addressed Heyman directly. Sitting in a dimly lit room, the shadows accentuated the intensity in his eyes, capturing the raw anger and focus of a man who had once walked through chaos and emerged stronger. Without flashy production or dramatic music, Moxley's message was personal, unfiltered, and powerful. He called out Heyman for manipulating his former brothers, highlighting the betrayal that had left Rollins devastated. Moxley's voice, calm yet laced with danger, carried the weight of someone who had seen the worst and refused to stay silent. This moment reminded fans why he had been one of the most unpredictable forces in wrestling, capable of turning any situation into a seismic shift. A declaration of war. Moxley's words weren't just a commentary, they were a declaration of war. He reminded Heyman that the Shield was never his to control or break, and warned that he was ready to fight back. By stating that he was bringing the whole damn arsenal, Moxley implied that this battle would extend beyond himself. The message resonated deeply with fans because it transcended typical wrestling rivalries, hinting at a rebellion that could involve Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and even wrestlers from outside WWE. The audacity of an AEW star publicly challenging WWE's top storyline was unprecedented. This bold step blurred the lines between brands and promotions, shaking the wrestling world to its core. Moxley's declaration instantly became more than a personal vendetta. It was a signal that the rules of the game were about to change. The symbolism of the whole damn arsenal. The phrase, the whole damn arsenal, became the focal point of speculation. Fans and analysts immediately wondered if Moxley was hinting at a Shield reunion, with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins joining him in a symbolic or literal battle against Heyman. The implication was powerful. This wasn't just about one man seeking revenge. It was about rekindling brotherhood and reclaiming a legacy that had been twisted and exploited. The line suggested strategic planning, a coordinated return, and the potential to disrupt WWE's established hierarchy. The symbolism was not lost on fans who saw it as a promise of chaos, rebellion, and retribution. It positioned Moxley as the unpredictable force capable of reshaping the landscape, reminding everyone that loyalty and camaraderie can defy corporate boundaries. Cross-promotional chaos. Moxley's message introduced a rare and unprecedented cross-promotional scenario. AEW's top star directly engaging with WWE's major storyline challenged conventional boundaries and altered the industry's dynamics. It wasn't just about storytelling, it was a real-world disruption. Fans realized that the betrayal of Rollins now had consequences reaching beyond a single company. The potential implications included interpromotional confrontations, unexpected alliances, and new rivalries that could redefine the wrestling business. By taking the fight to Heyman publicly, Moxley elevated the stakes for everyone involved. Wrestlers, executives, and fans alike had to reconsider their understanding of authority, loyalty, and competition, because the narrative now spanned brands, blending fiction with the palpable tension of real-world wrestling politics. Reigniting the spirit of the Shield. Moxley's message reminded the world of what the Shield once represented: unity, trust, and unbreakable bonds forged in adversity. Heyman's betrayal had attempted to dismantle that spirit, leaving Reigns and Rollins vulnerable. Moxley's intervention reignited hope that the Brotherhood could endure beyond WWE's corporate confines. Fans were captivated by the possibility of a symbolic Shield revival, one that would reclaim agency and fight back against manipulation. Moxley's words served as both reassurance and a warning. Some legacies cannot be destroyed by contracts, brands, or corporate power. In doing so, he reasserted the emotional core of professional wrestling, where loyalty, trust, and raw human passion are just as important as titles and storylines. Setting the stage for future warfare. With Moxley entering the equation, WWE's internal storylines and interpromotional dynamics suddenly became unpredictable. Seth Rollins' recovery, Roman Reigns' empire building, and Heyman's Vision faction were now part of a larger multi-layered conflict. The potential for matches, confrontations, and storylines spanning multiple promotions added depth and tension to every segment of Raw, SmackDown, and AEW programming. Moxley's involvement ensured that nothing would be straightforward, and every development would carry the weight of past betrayals and future possibilities. Fans could anticipate an era where storylines, alliances, and rivalries would be richer, more emotionally charged, and genuinely unpredictable. The beginning of a revolution. Moxley's declaration wasn't an isolated moment. It marked the beginning of a revolution in professional wrestling. His willingness to cross boundaries, confront betrayal, and challenge authority inspired both wrestlers and fans. The war he initiated was as much about loyalty, integrity, and brotherhood as it was about championships or company politics. By speaking out, he reasserted the importance of agency in the wrestling world, proving that some forces cannot be controlled, contained, or silenced. As the wrestling universe absorbed the impact of his words, it became clear that this was the start of a storyline, and perhaps a real-world conflict, that could redefine the industry for years to come. Chaos, loyalty, and unfinished business. Jon Moxley's message to Paul Heyman was a turning point, not just for WWE or AEW, but for professional wrestling as a whole. By addressing the betrayal of Seth Rollins, he reminded the world that loyalty, brotherhood, and passion are forces that transcend corporate structures. His declaration of war, combined with the possibility of reuniting the Shield, set the stage for unpredictable, high-stakes storytelling. Fans, wrestlers, and executives alike are now left to wonder what will happen next. One thing is certain: when Moxley speaks, the wrestling world listens. Chaos, rebellion, and unfinished business are now at the forefront, promising a gripping, emotionally charged future that fans will not want to miss.